Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. I'm going to rename Kevin to David Burgess.
Yes.
I'm trying to do that. Everybody sit still. Thank you for your patience. I just had to, building committee had to close for us to open.
We were just wondering if we were sitting in La La Land, not hooked up.
No. Well, thank you for your patience. Hi, David.
Hi, Becky.
Do people want to introduce themselves to David Burgess?
I've already met David. I met David this morning.
Well, I'm George Overnitis. I'm a member of the Finance Committee. I think I've worked with you many years ago when I was on the Finance Committee.
I think so, yeah, way back, a long time ago.
Yes, it was 20 years or so, yes.
I had Brian hair then.
I did. I have here then.
And I'm April Stein. I'm also on the Finance Committee. And I believe we worked together I can't remember what function you had in the town at that.
I was
Many years ago.
assessor
Oh, okay. Many years ago.
many
Many
years ago, yeah.
Yes. It's so nice to reconnect, and we're so happy to have you here.
Thank you, it's good to be back.
Leslie has 2 cameras working now.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on the cell phone. I think give David full view with the other.
Okay.
We're just figuring this out. I typically had used the other computer, which had no camera, and used the phone for the camera. And then we thought we could share, but this works better.
All right.
Okay, so Howard, ready to start the meeting?
I am. Okay. So I'm going to open the meeting, and present remotely are board members April Stein and George Arvanitis, and also attending are Town Administrator Becky Torres, Assessors Clerk Leslie Bracebridge, and Administrative Assessor David Burgess. First item on the agenda is to review and approve the meeting minutes from June 14th. Does anybody have any comments or questions about the minutes?
No,
Okay.
they looked fine to me.
So I'm going to move that we approve them.
And I'll second
second
that. I'll third it.
Okay.
Overnight
And
aside.
I vote aye.
Stein, aye.
Okay, so the motion is approved. The second item on the agenda is to review and approve the monthly accountant reports. We have one report. Is the July report, the car report, and there are 3 plate cancellations on it. Does anybody have any questions about it?
Nope. No.
Okay, I move that we approve the accountant report.
I'll
I'll
second.
second that.
Okay, and I vote aye.
Overnight aside.
And Stein, aye.
Okay. Okay. Third item is we need to discuss the means tested real estate exemption. Okay. The question that we have to address is how we're going to apply, how we're going to implement the exemption, whether or not everybody who applies whether people who qualify for the exemption are going to get the maximum amount that's possible on the circuit breaker tax credit, or whether they're going to get an amount that's proportional to the amount for which they qualified in the previous year, in which case everybody would get a different amount. Okay. And Leslie, David, and I were talking about it this morning. And what we've agreed in order to resolve this question, we're going to get an opinion from somebody at the state level, okay, an attorney who works for the DOR. And David David seems to be the person who's most familiar with who these people are. He knows them much. I don't know any of them. David does because he's been working in the assessor for so long. So David has agreed to get in touch with people who worked at the DOR and ask them to resolve this for us. Okay, so is everybody okay with that? So we're not gonna vote on it tonight. We're just gonna table it for now. Is everybody okay with that? What do people think?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Getting expert opinion, sounds like that would be really helpful. But what was the specific question? Could you tell us again what that was?
Yeah, the question is, when we implement the exemption, when we give people this exemption, the question is, will everybody get an amount that's proportional to the maximum, which is $1,200?
Mhm.
Okay, and the other possibility is people are going to get an amount that's proportional to what each of them was awarded based on their tax return for the previous year, in which case everybody will get a different amount.
Right. It's from reading the documents, I got the impression that the way it typically works is the select board decides if their exemption is equal to 50% or up to 200% of what their credit is, their tax credit is, their what's it called? Circuit breaker tax credit.
Right.
So that's one of the options you described. And the other option you're saying is what again? Just so I make sure I understand.
Okay. Let me back up a little bit.
Mhm.
There's different decisions that have to be made. We make one decision and the select board makes the other decision. Okay.
Okay.
The decision that we're going to make is, imagine for the select board said that everybody's going to get 100%.
Okay.
And the question is then 100% of what? Okay. And what we have to decide what the what is. Okay.
Okay.
And there are two different possibilities for that. One is that everybody will get, say, 100% of the maximum amount they could have gotten on this breaker tax credit. This year, the maximum amount is $100. So $1,200 exemption, real estate exemption.
Yeah, is he breaking up? Yeah.
You're breaking up some, but I feel like I'm
Can I give
catching
it a
it.
try?
Sorry, Howard, we just can't hear.
Yeah, it's breaking up, Howard.
You're breaking up. I'm getting what you're saying in between the breaking up.
Can I give it a try?
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Okay. What Howard is saying is we're just trying to
Can
determine.
people,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Howard.
are people having trouble hearing me? Is that the issue?
Yes.
You specifically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you hear us okay?
Specifically,
Yeah, everybody else is coming through clear, Howard, except for you.
okay.
You might want to sign on and off and on
Okay.
again.
Yeah.
Would that help?
Yeah, it's worth a try.
But I think
Okay.
That's good.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Still breaking up.
Are you hearing me or not?
you're breaking up.
Still breaking up. I don't know why. I don't know.
I know
Frustrating.
it is.
It's
Okay.
usually George.
A minute.
Can I give it a
Yeah,
try?
and you're
Howard
kind
and I have talked about it multiple times. I sent you 3 attachments. The
Mhm.
first one was a copy of the statute that we voted at town meeting that was signed by Governor Baker.
Yeah.
On the second page of that, under section 3, it's underlined, shall be not less than 50% and not more than 200% of the amount of the circuit breaker income tax credit pursuant to subsection K of section 6 of chapter 62 of the general laws, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So that's the question. All right, first of all, we know that the select board will be making that choice about the 50% to 200%. The technical information release, TIR 2212,
Mhm.
is the amount that the state determined for 2022, which is the tax year we're talking about for them. And at the very last line says the maximum credit amount is $1,200 for tax year 2022.
Right.
So the question that we are trying to understand for the assessors to
Mhm.
implement, does that mean 50 to 200% of $1,200? Or what Howard is saying is that some people only get, say, $50 in their circuit breaker credit from the state. And if they only got $50 back from the state for it, would that mean they'd only get 50%, $25 to 200%, $100? And that's what David is trying to find out what other towns are doing. Howard called Hopkinton.
Okay. Yes.
Hopkinton said that they do it based on the individual's return from the state. So they're doing it. If you got $50 back, you'd only get 20. If the town voted 50%, you'd get 25. However, Kevin Rudden, who implemented this, who was administrative assessor working to implement it, sent out or prepared an information sheet back in 2021
Mhm.
he used. And okay, on page, well, the pages aren't numbered, but
The last page.
next to the last, I think, is where,
Okay.
well, I'm sorry, maybe you're, yeah, no, it's the next to last page, third paragraph down from the top. At the DOR's 2020 state income tax credit amount of $1,500, Shutesbury's local option would range from $575 to $2,300. That's the 50% to 200%, which the select board get to vote on. But as I say, the wording, if you reread that section 3 of our actual vote over and over again, it's not real clear what the percentage is taken from, whether it's the $1,200, which is the maximum, or if it's half of $50, if that's what they qualified for at the state level. And as I say, if we read Kevin's, how he presented it, which, and Becky had brought this to my attention, she said, you know, this is what Kevin presented at town meeting. How do you explain otherwise to people?
Yeah.
But
And the document approved by town meeting and signed by the governor.
is where it's vague. You can't tell what
Do we
was
have-
intended.
Do we have a copy of that?
It's attached.
It's okay, that's what that, okay.
You should have all the documents
We do,
attached there.
we do.
Okay,
I
I've
do.
got- yes, I got it, yes.
And truly,
Oh, yeah.
it's, if you read it, you'll see how it could be interpreted either way. And in that he based it on Hopkinton, and Hopkinton does it this way. We need a little more information.
Okay, so
Yeah, I'm-
we'll find out what the experts say then is, I guess, bottom line on this.
That's David's job.
Yeah, I wrote to them today, so as I
Is-
told her, they're not gonna reply right away. It's gonna take a while. So they will get back to us.
Okay.
Is it possible? I'm just wondering, I agree that if somebody has a credit of $50, a $25 exemption on their property tax return, it's nothing. And I'm wondering if we could I know this is brainstorming. If we could have a minimum, so no matter how low your circuit breaker is, you can get $100 exemption, even if your circuit breaker was below that,
That's
or
not,
50% or 200% comes out to below that, you could get 100. I'm just wondering if we could have a minimum. But I guess because this has all been approved and signed off on, that ship has sailed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Becky, you keep raising your hand. What's,
I was just gonna point, so part of the simplicity of the way Kevin explained it made it, we would be much more able to project what the cost would be. The downside is it's very likely to be much less than that if we go with the other method. We just won't have as good a handle on.
Becky, it really doesn't matter how we project it, because this is going to be done before we set a tax rate, and it's going to be based on assessment. So we have to see what the number is anyway. So
Mhm.
whether we just add them up individually or whether we multiply a number by 1200, it's going to be used the same theory to fix it. So it's not that hard.
okay.
But when will we know?
Well,
I-
if people have applied by they've got to apply by August 31st. So we will know by August 31st what our liability is at the base rate. And then we can go to this select board to find out if they're going to do the 50 or 200.
Mhm.
So you'll be
So-
able to give them a solid number before you go to them. That's, I just wanted to make sure we could project
Well, as
accurately.
I said to Howard this morning, when we get a number, I'll run it as 50, 75, 100, 125, and 200. And
Okay.
give them an idea of what they're doing.
That'll be great.
And
Or
people
if I
can
didn't say
still,
it, I meant to say it this morning.
but people can still go ahead and apply for the exemption.
Yes.
Okay. And we will have to figure out by the 31st how much that is.
No, by the 31st, we'll have all the applications in and we'll know what they got for exemptions.
Yeah.
We'll have that figure. But then going forward, we'll have to figure out if we're going to use what percentage we're going to use on the
Right.
50 or whatever we're going to use. And that's when we'll present some stuff to the select board to give them an option.
Okay. And we can't set our tax rate until we've done that.
Oh, we're not, well, we'll be far away from setting the tax rate before then.
Right.
Good,
We'll have it
good.
well done before then.
I assume the biggest issue is going to be how big is that number at 50, 100, or 200 relative to the overlay?
Right.
Do we have enough
No,
overlay? No,
it's not going to hit the overlay.
it's not going to hurt their overlay. I thought that's where the
It hits
exemption.
everybody else's taxes.
No,
No,
what's
yeah.
going to happen is it'll be like a residential exemption. The individual's tax bill or assessment will get the credit off theirs. We'll figure out what the assessment's going to be for everybody. And then whatever the tax was going to be in the residential, we're going to have a slightly higher tax bill.
Got it.
Tax
To
rate,
cover that.
which I'll admit is probably going to be, I honestly think it'll be a penny or less than 2 pennies.
Right.
Can't say that with any certainty until we see. And we'll do it that way. So this will not go to the overlay.
Got it. Got it. Thank you.
And it's possible to say right now that we have 4 pretty solid applications. There's been inquiries for 2 more, and there's likely other people out there, but it's not a huge number so far.
At 4 people, it'll only be a penny, right? I mean, as you said,
Right.
even at the
And
max.
And it truly will be of advantage to those people. And I truly think that if it's at all possible, well, we'll see what advice David gets from DOR, but if it's at all possible, it would be such an advantage to the people applying.
And how have we advertised it enough? Do people, is it out there in the universe so people know about it?
We did the newsletter, and I just got permission from David today to send a blurb to, I'm going to send it to Gail Fleischer to put out on our town announce thing.
Yeah.
Would it be
It's
possible?
also on our website, on our page.
Okay.
Would it also be possible to put an insert in the tax bills?
Tax bills have already gone out.
Yeah, I know, that's true, but maybe with the November tax bill to let people know if you're interested, go to our
Yeah.
website and read about it. Oh, but then it would be too late. So it's something we want to do next year, maybe in the
Yesterday.
last tax bill of the year.
Yes.
Or okay,
We'd have to speak with Ellen about that.
understood. But that's one way you're going to get everybody.
It's true.
It says for people 65 and older. I think at least originally, David, Kevin did a presentation for the Council on Aging. And Becky, did you say that it also went out in one of the senior newsletters?
Yes, it was in the Gazette last spring. I believe it was last spring.
Okay.
Oh, that was, yeah, a full year ago,
That's right.
18 months ago. Kevin's been gone a long time.
So we'll get it on the town announce. And we'll put it on maybe we could put it on the front page of the webpage. I'll work with
No.
Gail to see how much she can promote it.
Well, we can also call Scott Mers back. I could call him tomorrow and see if he'll write anything about it.
Yeah, I was wondering if that would be possible. You know, put it in the newspaper. But it's,
I
I'm,
Sent
it's one,
applications to everybody who had inquired ever in the last 5 years, say about our traditional statutory exemptions. They automatically got sent the information sheet and the applications.
good.
And anybody who read the newsletter and called and asked got one.
So there's 4 very solid and possibly a couple of more.
So far, yeah.
Yeah, it's a start.
Mm.
I'm glad we can help.
See, oh, go ahead.
I mean, it'll grow over time as people hear about it,
Yeah.
but the first year is going to be light.
Mhm. Right.
Kevin had
Can
estimated,
you,
sorry.
okay, can you understand me now or not? Can you hear me?
Somewhat.
A little
Yeah,
better than it
yes.
was before.
Somewhat, okay. I wanted to mention, let me know if you can't understand this, okay?
Okay.
I wanted to mention one thing to David. When you talk to whoever you find at the DOR about this, every town has its own statute and they're not all worded the same, okay? So what we really need, we need an interpretation of the statute that was written for us, okay? And like, just as an example, Concord has very different wording than we do. Hopkinton has the same wording as we do, okay? So we really need kind of a line by line interpretation of this. Everybody get that? Okay.
Yes.
I actually went through the 2022
That's
laws.
all I have to say. That doesn't matter.
No, thank you.
I went through the 2022 laws, and there's about 15 more towns that have approved versions of this. And there's multiple variations on it. The MAAO is trying to standardize it and get something statewide going, but it hasn't come to fruition yet.
Getting there. Well, I really appreciate your putting your heads together this morning and really trying to nail this. And and it'll be interesting to see what the legal advice is to us.
Just
Well, it's
don't,
hard, so-
yep,
Go
just
ahead,
don't ask more than one lawyer, please.
So true.
That's right. And this
Pick a
is
lawyer
free.
you want.
We don't have to pay for this lawyer, right? This is a DOR lawyer.
Right, DOR, yeah.
Yeah, they never disagree with each other.
Oh, this is wonderful news. So we're closing in on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it
we
sounds like
should,
it.
yeah, this is really good news.
So if we're done with that topic, I had to have I have two things under not topics reasonably anticipated 48 hours in advance of the meeting. And the first of the biggest news is that April is passed her test. We're all qualified.
And
Yay.
George has passed. George, we are all
Nice job,
done.
April.
It was a
Congratulations.
lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
There's a lot of content.
Yes, yes. And
It
my
was actually
brain,
more fun to go to the school.
yeah. The guy's accent was, it got.
It was a thick Boston
Yeah,
accent.
right.
Yeah,
like,
picking
oh.
everybody with accents, huh?
I knew that was coming.
No,
I
no,
love
he's
that.
not. No,
Boston,
no, I
so
bet,
far
yeah,
away.
no, it was,
Second,
yeah, go ahead.
the second item is that we got our fourth motor vehicle commitment for 2023 in the amount of $11,332.16. And I'm asking your permission to approve it, and I'll stamp your names onto it and put it in our book.
So
Yes,
I'll move to approve
Okay,
it.
I approve.
I approve.
I second.
Arvin,
I'll
yes, sir.
send a copy along with the approved minutes.
Yes. So
Okay.
Stein, aye. Arvanitis, aye?
Arvanitis, aye.
Good.
Aye. Shatner.
Aye, Howard.
Aye. This
The
is
next
fabulous,
item
yeah.
is when the next meeting will be. And I said to David, my vacation is August 19 to 26, which is just around the corner from today. And there's not a heck of a lot in the middle of the summer. We were both wondering if we might wait till September.
That's fine by me.
That's fine with me too. I'm
So
actually traveling the same exact time, Leslie.
where are you going?
Agrees.
Oh,
Very nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring my fire hose.
You
Yeah,
better.
yeah.
so do you want to select a Wednesday in September?
Yes. When would be our normal September, with the date for the
Usually the third or the
typical?
I think the 6th, the 13th, and the 20th.
The
Right.
20th would probably be best for me.
Okay, I could do
I got
that.
tentative plans for the second week.
Sounds good to me. It'll give us a chance to really put together what we have for the means tested exemption.
Yes,
Okay, yeah, you'll have a lot of information at that point.
I'll send you anything I have by email. You can't discuss it, but at least you can have it.
okay,
Yes, thank you.
that would be good.
So Becky?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing if the select board makes their decision, their 5200 decision, they can do that in the middle of October. It'll be okay.
If it's okay with you guys, we'll just, we'll shoot for that and we'll wait to get the information from you guys.
Okay,
I'm okay with the
Okay.
timing as long as it
Okay.
doesn't impact the timing of the tax recap.
right.
We
Right.
just don't want to hold you up.
Yeah, I just didn't want to back them up. Yeah, okay.
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 Middle of October.
Okay.
So our meeting is September 20th.
6:30. And it
Yes.
Our
looks like
meeting.
we're, if it not to be presumptuous, but we may be adjourning at 7 o'clock.
Oh,
Sounds
Oh.
good with me. I make a motion.
I move that
Ah.
we adjourn.
I'll second it.
Arvanitis, aye.
Okay.
Thank you all.
We are
Nice meeting you all.
Stein, aye.
Thank
David,
you.
it was nice to see you.
Yes, and
Stop
thank
running
you.
early, given Wednesday.
All right, all right, that's good to know.
Yeah, that is.
Okay.
That's great.
Yes.
All right, thanks a lot.
Okay, Be
Thank you,
well.
everyone.
Really answering a lot of questions and getting the hard stuff done. We're very lucky,
No,
Yes.
Where are you going on vacation, Leslie?
Brewster.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yes, yes.
I'm not very imaginative. I go the same place all the time.
because it's a beautiful place.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I'm very fortunate.
All
George,
right, take care.
all right.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Good
night.
night.